For every 8 best Squid Game players, there are another 8 who were absolutely worse. And today, we're comparing them all, starting with the most reckless player of them all, player 230 Thanos. Thanos wasn't just a bad player, he was a walking disaster. In a game where composure and teamwork saves lives, he brought chaos, ego, and zero strategy. This man entered red light, green light like it was a party. Instead of listening to rules and to warnings given by Gi-hun, he starts yelling, mocking, joking, and gets someone killed because he distracted her by telling there was a bee on her neck.
It knows you're a flower. You got a bee crawling on you.
Like, what was the plan? Chaos? Mid-game, he literally gets high and starts pushing people, as if dying wasn't already an option. And then he says this.
Tag!
Bro, what are you doing? And when it comes time to vote, he votes O out of pride and anger, no strategy, no thought, just pure ego. He smashes food in Myunggi's face like he's in a cafeteria fight, not a death match. And when teams are forming for the 6-legged pentathlon, he doesn't care about winning. He just picks whoever looks cute.
You're cute. Come on.
No, for real. That's how he picked teammates. In Mingle, he eliminates Deok-su, then forgets he even voted him out, and got mad when he saw him dead. That's not strategy. That's a goldfish brain. But the worst part? He literally attacks Myungi in the bathroom like some cartoon villain screaming,
"All my money, girl, life, John Thanos property now!"
And surprise, he gets stabbed with a fork and dies like the clown he was. No brains, no plan, just vibes and violence. He was one of the worst players in the game, like bringing a clown to a war. But while Thanos spiraled, one player stayed sharp. While Thanos was out here making 0 IQ plays, Lee Myungi was outsmarting other players. From the start, he knew what he was doing. In red light, green light, he doesn't scream. He crosses his arms over his chest to steady himself. Like, he actually prepares. While others panic, Myungi adapts. When it's time to vote, he says to stay. Not just for the money, but because Jun-hee had just walked in. Strategic and loyal? That's rare in this death trap. Before the 6-legged pentathlon, he's getting body slammed by both Thanos and Namgyu. Still doesn't go down. This man's built different, like a brick wall that can think. In Mingle, he pulls a legendary move. Slides into a group last second, saving himself and 3 others. When most players barely made it through all 3 rounds. That's peak situational awareness. And when he has to choose between Young Mi and 7 other players. Later, he faces the choice, Young Mi versus 7 others. He slams the door, saves the group, including Jun-hee.
I saved your lives! Don't you understand that?
Brutal, yes, but cold logic wins games. Even off the field, he played smart. Protects Minsu from vote tampering. Stands up to Thanos, and when he kills Thanos, no celebration, no gloating. He hides, he shakes. That's a human reaction. Then came Season 3, and Myungi, he leveled up. Hide and seek? He switches teams, not just to protect Jun-hee, but because he knew the hunters had better odds. Then turns Namgyu, his enemy, into a temporary ally. They rack up kills, even take out Hyunju, the player protecting Jun-hee and her baby. But when Myungi finds out Jun-hee's hiding in that same room, he didn't panic, just shuts the door and walks away. Because if Namgyu knew, Jun-hee would have been next. Strategic, ruthless, and when it counted, merciful. In Jump Rope, Myungi played it smart again, letting others go first, watching exactly how the rope worked, and then crossing safely near the end. Even tries to help Jun-hee despite their shattered bond. She refuses. She had a fractured ankle. He saw it and kept moving. Helping her meant dying too, and Myungi wasn't here to die. And Jun-hee jumps to her death. Myungi, heartbroken, but still moving forward. Then came Squid Game. He fakes loyalty to Im Jong-dae's group, just long enough to keep his baby alive. When they try to kill the child first, he shuts it down. Then, uses the center pole as a weapon. His idea. Shoves Minsu and others off without hesitation. Final round, Myungi versus Gi-hun. He sets a trap, threatens the baby, goes full villain. Did it work? No, but the strategy was there, all the way to the end. Selfish? Sometimes. Cold? Definitely, but always calculating. Love him or hate him, Lee Myungi played like one of the best. But one player? He brought muscles, fear, with 0 brains. There's this guy, Deok-su. He walks into red light, green light like he owns the place. But the second that creepy doll turns her head, his face? Pure fear. Like a school bully who just saw the principal walking in. Yeah, real tough guy. Then after the vote, he comes up with a plan. Made his gang like he would rob the prize money, except nobody even trusts him. Big boss energy? More like big clown vibes. Back in the game, he cheats in Honeycomb. How? Minyo gives him a lighter. He melts the sugar and acts like he's some genius. It wasn't his idea. And now he's got a gang, but still no brain. Next night, he starts a full-on riot just to kill off players. 27 people die. Why? So he can thin the herd, but all he does is paint a giant target on his own back. Tug of war? He dumps Minyo like trash.
To get a bunch of men who are well built.
Replaces her with muscle, and adds nothing but grunts. In marbles, he's losing, so what does he do? Changes the rules. Wins with pure luck. His opponent runs. He laughs. But when it's his turn on the glass bridge, freezes. Total coward. And when Minyo hugs him, she drags him down, and Deok-su realized that this game was not about betrayal, but too late. He thought fearing others would keep him alive, but in the end, he was the most scared one of all. And now we go from chaotic musclehead to one of the smartest players in the game. She is Han Minyo. At first, she looks like the comic relief. Loud, dramatic, extra for no reason. But don't let that fool you. This woman was playing everyone like a game of chess. Right after red light, green light, she's ready to quit. But the second she sees the prize money, she switches up, votes to stay, smartest pivot in the game. Later, she sneaks into the bathroom after lights out just to spy, convinces the guards to let her smoke just to distract them, then helps Sebok crawl into the vents. Not out of kindness, for intel. Then in Honeycomb, she whips out a lighter and hands it to Deok-su. Boom. She's now protected by the strongest gang in the game, but that wasn't just to impress him, it was a setup. She uses the same trick herself, melts the sugar from the back of the shape to avoid cracks. No needle pressure, no stress, just quiet fire and clever hands. While others are licking and sweating, Minyo's sitting pretty, all because she brought the right tool. 1 lighter, 2 wins, total control, protection in progress, all from a single spark. Later, tug of war, Deok-su dumps her. She doesn't cry. She switches teams and joins Gi-hun's group. That move made her the only player to be in both major alliances. Who else can say that? Marbles comes around, and she doesn't even have a partner. Game over, right? Nope. Player 111 dies, so the numbers are uneven. She survives without lifting a finger. Luck? Maybe. But slipping through the cracks? That was her whole strategy. Then, glass bridge. Dragged Deok-su to death. Man who betrayed her reveals the next correct step and takes down the guy who betrayed her. A death move and a tactical one. Minyo didn't win Squid Game, but she played it like a pro. No strength, no loyalty, just survival instinct, manipulation, and perfect timing. She was underestimated by everyone, and that's exactly how she stayed alive. But what about the man who just yelled louder, ran slower, and made everything worse? This guy, Jungbae, was basically a human fire alarm. Loud, panicked, and completely useless in an actual emergency. First game, red light, green light. Gi-hun's literally yelling at everyone to stay calm. But Jungbae? Nah, he ignores it, keeps moving, keeps panicking, and only survives because other players block the sensors for him. After the game, you'd think he'd calm down. Nope, just crawls under a bed like a terrified puppy until money rains from the ceiling. Suddenly, bravery unlocked. Fake courage, bought with cash. Next thing you know, he's yelling the loudest, picking whatever side's screaming first, throwing wild accusations at Gi-hun for no reason.
They hire you to come and confuse us all! Who is this man? You're the ones who put him in here to manipulate us!
Bro, what? This man literally just saved your life. Next round, Jegi. When more players survive, Jungbae gets mad, because more survivors mean less money for him. Then in Mingle, when teams are forming, he and Yongsam shove Daiho's group away, not with strategy, just with straight up pushing, like full body shoving. Playground rules. And when the lights go out that night, fights break out, players get stabbed, and Jungbae, right in the middle, not leading, not thinking, just counting the players dead. But if you thought that was peak Jungbae, Season 3 said, wait, there's more. Hide and seek, a stealth game. Jungbae smears blood on his face and plays dead. It worked, but let's be honest, that wasn't strategy. That wasn't a plan. Just him acting scared and hoping it worked. And when Xiangwu actually helps him escape, he locks the door behind her and lets her die. No logic, no loyalty, no alliance building, just pure survival mode betrayal. Then in Jump Rope, he starts clapping for Gi-hun like a proud uncle after the baby-carrying bridge move. Really? You were mocking him 2 episodes ago. That wasn't respect, it was survival theater. Trying to blend in, because that's Jungbae's entire playbook. react. Attach hope someone else dies first. No plan, no edge, just noise. And in the final round, starts blaming player 039.
Oh, the lunchbox! If we just drag him over there and throw him off in the next round, then the 3 of us. Oh, right, the baby. Then 4. Let's see. We get 11.4 billion.
Then tries bribing.
10 billion won. That's all I need. I'll give you the rest of it, okay?
Cool story, except killing you is worth 15.2 billion. So Yongki shoves him off. Game over. Too selfish to plan, too sloppy to scheme, and too loud to see the end coming. But while Jungbae was losing control, another player was doing the exact opposite by staying silent and striking when it mattered. Unlike Jungbae, Kang Se-byuk wasn't loud, wasn't flashy, but every move she made, smart, quiet, built to survive. While people screamed and froze in red light, green light, she stayed calm, focused, and played with the right strategy. Hide behind another player. She even taunted Deok-su mid-game.
They'll kill you if you get caught.
Yeah, she almost got him eliminated, and that was just the start. She didn't sit around waiting. She faked being unconscious, stole a knife from a guard, then crawled into an air vent and spied on the sugar game early. That gave her, Xiangwu, and Minyo a huge edge in Honeycomb. During the night riot, Deok-su nearly had her pinned. She fought like her life depended on it, stabbed, kicked, clawed her way out. Even after a bottle to the head, she got back up. When it came to tug of war, she didn't pick friends. She picked strategy, bringing Ji-young onto the team at the last second. Small move, huge impact. Helped build the team that won. And what about her emotional intelligence? Yeah, she started cold, but in marbles, she opened up. Ji-young literally gave her life for Se-byuk. Why? Because Se-byuk earned her trust. Quietly. When the glass bridge game began, she didn't panic. She crossed fast, got stabbed by falling glass, pulled it out, tied it up, kept moving. And her final words, when Gi-hun wanted to kill Sang-woo.
Don't do it. That isn't you. You're a good person at heart.
Even near death, her mind stayed sharp. Se-byuk didn't lose the game. She got betrayed in her sleep. Her gameplay? Flawless. She almost made it to the final round, played like a ghost, silent, sharp, and hard to catch. But next up, someone who stayed quiet, stayed scared, and hoped that was enough. Some players enter Squid Game with a plan. Yongki entered with panic. Right from the first game, red light, green light, while others stood frozen with fear. Yongki was literally about to die from fear. The second people got shot, he was panicking until his mom told him. Not strategy, just his mom holding the controller. Then came the first vote to leave. He had one chance to walk away and froze again, like he needed permission to blink.
Don't you dare! Don't do anything stupid, okay?
Seriously, how do you play Squid Game when your entire strategy is mom said no? Then came flying stones. People were leaping for their lives. Yongki just stood on the edge, terrified, refusing to move, like he thought hesitation would save him. Until outside pressure pushed him forward, and when teams got split during the mingle, he said nothing, fought for nothing, just drifted where the game pushed him. But the worst part? When the money finally crossed his own debt level, he completely flipped his vote to stay. 1 second from walking out. Next second, he's locked in. And then came season 3. Oh boy, in hide and seek, he ends up on red team after a team switch gone wrong. His mom literally tells him he's good at hiding. So naturally, he ends up on the wrong team. First chance to make a move, he tries to kill player 172 and fails so bad he almost gets himself killed. Who saves him? Not him. Not strategy. Kim Gi-min, another player. Again, outside help. Zero self-sufficiency. And then the final disaster, he finds his mom and Jun-hee in a room. He has to kill one of them, and this man tries to stab a woman holding a baby instead of killing an actual player. Logic? Gone. Humanity? Barely hanging on. Gumja stabs him from behind. And honestly, that was mercy. He was seconds away from killing a mother and child just to feel like he finally made a choice. Sure, he had a heart, but no brain, no backbone, just fear. And a support system that did all the work. And if he spent the whole time leaning on others, our next player fought through everything with nothing but his own strength. When it comes to raw heart and survival instinct, Ali Abdul is in a whole different league. Unlike players who just got lucky or clung to others, Ali actually earned every second of survival with skill, brains, and kindness. Let's be real, Ali's first big moment already proved it. During red light, green light, when Gi-hun tripped and was about to die, Ali caught him mid-air risking his own life and eventually saving 2 lives.
You saved my life out there.
And it wasn't just one game. In Honeycomb, people were sweating bullets. Ali, calm, focused, got it loose with seconds left. Not his childhood game, not even his language, but he adapted fast. In Tug of War, he anchored the whole team with brute strength, even with 2 missing fingers from factory work. But Ali wasn't just strong. He showed emotional intelligence too. In voting, he chose to leave because he knew human lives mattered more than money, only coming back after being betrayed by his boss in the real world. Even in marbles, he didn't even know the words odd or even. Still nearly won. But then Sang-woo started losing, panicking. So he pulled out one last trick, said he had a secret plan. Ali believed him. Ali, the one guy who never lied, handed over all his marbles, trusting the wrong person. What did he get? A bag of rocks. By the time he realized, it was already over. One mistake. That's all it takes in Squid Game. Ali wasn't perfect, but he was loyal, brave, smart, a better player than most of them combined. No information. Still played like one of the best. But what happens when someone has all the information and still plays like the worst? Out of every player in Squid Game, Yongki had the biggest cheat code, while everyone else was walking in blind, guessing what fresh hell was coming next. Yongki already knew. Why? Because he was secretly working with the guards. Yeah, this man ran an organ harvesting side hustle inside a death game, and in return, he got early access to the games, while others were panicking about shapes and rules. Yongki had answers. He could have used that to build alliances, form a power team, actually win, but no, he wanted kidneys. He was more focused on smuggling body parts than surviving. And the second that secret system broke, he snapped, started panicking, killed one of the guards, then tried to escape through tunnels he'd never seen, with no plan, no map. And the best part, the guards, the same ones who fed him information, hunted him down and strung him up like every other player. Yongki had the biggest advantage in Squid Game history. Insider knowledge, protection, time, but no strategy, no loyalty, no vision. He turned God mode into game over. He had all the tool and still died like a rookie. He was one of the worst players in the game, a surgeon who couldn't operate on himself. But the next player, he didn't just know the rules, he knew how to play them. Sang-woo wasn't the strongest, wasn't the fastest, but when it came to survival, he played one of the smartest games in Squid Game. From the first round, he made it clear he wasn't here to hope, he was here to win. During red light, green light, while others screamed, froze, or panicked, Sang-woo stayed perfectly still, calm and in control. He wasn't just following instructions, he was already analyzing the game, understanding how it worked, and adapting without panic.
You're gonna die if you stay like that. I think that doll is a motion sensor. They won't be able to catch you if you're behind someone.
That wasn't luck, that was calculation. Then came Dalgona. While everyone else rushed to random shapes like circles and umbrellas, Sang-woo quietly chose the triangle, remembering from childhood which shape would be the easiest. And no, he didn't warn anyone else. Information was power, and he kept it all to himself. In Tug of War, physically his team had no chance, but mentally, Sang-woo called the perfect move, the fake fall, the synchronized pull.
Get yourself together and listen! Let's try something! Take 3 steps up when I signal!
Thanks to his quick thinking, a guaranteed loss turned into a win. But his coldest move? That came in the marbles game. When he was losing, instead of playing fair, Sang-woo manipulated Ali, tricking him into handing over all his marbles and sending him straight to his death.
Trust me. Help me and I'll make sure we get out of here.
Cold? Yes, but brilliant? Absolutely. On the glass stepping stones, Sang-woo waited, let others test the glass, then pushed player 017 forward when the clock ticked down. Ruthless, but effective. Even in the final game, he knew he lost, knew Gi-hun deserved to win. So Sang-woo made one last decision, took his own life, because he didn't come here to beg. He came to win or die trying. Sang-woo wasn't the most likable player, but he was arguably smartest and most strategic. He didn't survive by chance, he survived by choice, but Sang-woo calculated every move. Our next player couldn't make one without help. And that brings us to Kim Jun-hee. Jun-hee had every reason to play carefully. She was pregnant, vulnerable, already at a disadvantage, but instead of adapting, she let emotion and delusion lead every choice. In red light, green light, she was already a liability, struggling with stomach pain and needing help just to finish. Then Gongi happened, and she straight up admitted she didn't know how to play. A game literally stereotyped as for girls. Her Dakji survival? Pure luck. Zero strategy. And when it came to alliances, she made none. The only reason she lasted was because Gi-hun's team took pity on her. But even then, she brought nothing to the table. No tactics, no plan, no value. Despite being scammed by Myung-gi, she kept trusting him. And when rebellion time came, she froze, told Myung-gi to hide, and contributed absolutely nothing. And in season 3, new season, same script. In hide and seek, she fractures her ankle, instantly dead weight. Now Hyunju and Gumja have to drag her around like cargo until Hyunju dies protecting Junhee and her baby. Then the baby arrives. And now it's not just one life she's leaning on others to carry. It's 2. Jump rope, same playbook, different cast. She hands the baby to Gi-hun, who somehow crosses a collapsing bridge midair with a child in his arms, and promises to come back for her. And to her credit, at least this time, she didn't get her savior killed. She sees time running out and finally jumps, her one real choice. And it came after everyone else did the work. But let's be honest, she wasn't built for this game. Not while pregnant, not with that mindset. She wasn't playing Squid Game, she was waiting for someone else to play it for her. And in Squid Game, hope without action is just another way to die. But coming up next, we meet someone who didn't wait. Someone who turned every moment into a calculated fight for survival. Hyunju wasn't just playing Squid Game, she was rewriting the rules. While others froze in fear during red light, green light, she risked her life to help Gi-hun carry a wounded player, and still made it across alive. Right away, it was clear. She wasn't just a soldier, she was a soldier with heart. In the six-legged pentathlon, she calmed Youngmi during Dokji with one quick tip.
Try with it flipped. Use the other side.
Mentor mode activated. And when Seonyo cracked during Pengi Chigi, Hyunju didn't panic. 2 sharp slaps, instant reset. Harsh? Sure, but it worked. And when it came time for her Jegi kick, she stood there trembling, asked everyone not to watch, then nailed the shot anyway. During the mingle rounds, she saved Seonyo once. But when Seonyo turned on them, later Hyunju made the heartbreaking call to leave her behind. In the final revolt, she faked death, stole a gun, and led a full-on assault on the guards. Taking down cameras, gave commands, held the line. And when it was over, she surrendered. Not for nothing, but to survive with meaning. And in season 3, same mindset, same fire. In hide and seek, when Junhee fractured her ankle, Hyunju didn't blink. She stood between her and Yongsam, and when he lunged, she dropped him. Fast, clean, zero hesitation. Then came the baby. Hyunju helped deliver it while bleeding from the leg, and still fought off player 202 right after. Because in Squid Game, you don't just play mom friend, you become combat medic mom friend. Then she found the exit, a literal way out, and she ran back in to save the others. That was her final move, and for that, she was stabbed twice in the back by Myung-gi. She didn't win Squid Game, but she played it better than most. Her only mistake? She cared too much. Because Hyunju didn't just fight like a soldier. She fought like someone who believed everyone deserved to live. But for every player who strategized, fought, and clawed their way forward, there were others who didn't even try. Players who, when it mattered most, simply chose to lose. At first glance, Ji-young had everything going for her. Young, sharp, physically strong. She could have been a serious contender, but the truth, in tug of war, she was part of the winning team. But she didn't help them win. No strategy, no coordination, just background noise. And when it finally came down to her choice, her survival, she folded. She picked Sebok as her marbles partner, then gave up without a fight. No trick, no bluff, not even a half-baked plan to survive. Just one sad line.
You got a reason to get out of this place, but I don't.
Yeah, it sounds selfless, but in Squid Game, that's not sacrifice, that's surrender. Ji-young had potential, and she threw it away. And when the game demands everything, choosing nothing is the worst move you can make. But the next player, he knew exactly who to trust, and how to turn loyalty into survival. While others panicked, froze, or lost their minds, Jungbae made one smart move after another. From red light, green light, he stood out. Didn't flinch, didn't freak. The second Gi-hun warns him to stay still, he listens, adapts instantly, saves himself. When it's time to vote, bro chooses to leave, not out of fear but empathy. And when he comes back, it's with clear focus. No second guessing, no hesitation. During the six-legged pentathlon, he doesn't just grab the strongest dudes. Nope, he joins Gi-hun's team. Not for power, but for trust and loyalty. Even agrees when Gi-hun chooses Junhee, a pregnant woman, over a stronger player. Because he knows this game isn't just about strength. It's about teamwork, timing, and keeping your head. Their team is the last to play. The pressure? Unbearable. 5 mini games, 5 minutes. One mistake means death. And when things get tense, when mistakes happen or time slips away, Jungbae doesn't snap. He doesn't panic. He doesn't point fingers or blame anyone. Instead, he keeps them steady. focused, moving forward, one step, one game at a time, because blaming slows you down. Panic kills, and in the end, they survive, because together Jungbae and Gi-hun keep the team from falling apart when it matters most. By the time the Mingle games start, this guy is already on the smartest team in the room. He survives with Gi-hun and their allies, calm, focused, and never slipping once. No drama, no ego, just progress. When it's time to pick a partner for the room of two, he doesn't gamble. He picks with Gi-hun, a proven survivor and leader. Jungbae didn't outfight anyone, he outchose them. Right people, right time, right moves. That's not just survival, that's strategy. When the rebellion breaks out, Jungbae doesn't hide, he doesn't freeze. He steps up, grabs a gun, rallies others, and fights alongside Gi-hun. No panic, just action. Even when the odds are impossible, he keeps going. Because for Jungbae, survival wasn't just about the games, it was about loyalty, about standing up when it mattered. That's why he is ranked as one of best Squid Game players. But next up, we meet a player who never cracked under pressure, because he never pulled the trigger at all. While others crashed like thunder, Min-soo disappeared like a quiet breeze. Min-soo wasn't a villain, he wasn't a fighter, he was just there. Dragged into the group by Sammy, voted O because Thanos told him to. Twice, no thoughts, just obedience. In Mingle, round 2, watches Deok-su get voted out. Does nothing, not a word, not a move, just blank stare. Round 3, Sammy wants to team up. Min-soo picks scissors, accidentally wins, walks away like she wasn't the only reason he lasted this long. Then the riot hits. Sammy gets stabbed. What does Min-soo do? Climbs to the top bunk like it's a panic room, throws a bottle, misses, sits back down and cries. That's it. That's the whole performance. No strategy, no courage, no survival instinct, just fear. On loop. This wasn't bad luck. This was next level cowardice. And then comes season 3. One last chance to do something. Anything. Namgyu tells him to be a man. Min-soo finds Thanos' necklace, pops a pill, and immediately stabs player 044. Wrong person. He thought it was Namgyu. He's not brave. He's high, hallucinates his way through the next round, barely hanging on, and in the final game, he sees Sammy again, reaching for him, smiling. Except, plot twist, it's not her, it's a pole. And the second he grabs it, wham! Yongki shoves it. Min-soo flies off the platform, arms out like he's still chasing ghosts. He didn't go out fighting, he went out begging. The only thing he ever committed to was losing. He didn't play Squid Game, he hid inside it. This man earned to be at the highest ranks of worst players. Next up, the man who didn't wait for miracles, he made them happen with nothing but grit and a bleeding heart. The winner of season 1, the one we all rooted for. But let's be clear, Gi-hun didn't win because he was strongest or smartest of all players. He survived because of one thing, heart. And in Squid Game, that's not just rare. It's dangerous. In red light, green light, he panics, trips, almost dies twice. Then Ollie grabs his hand, pulls him up. Luck? Sure, but Gi-hun doesn't freeze. He moves. That's the difference. And in Honeycomb, he picks the umbrella. Yeah, the umbrella. Everyone was out there for triangles and circles. This man got a death sentence. And what does he do? Licks that cookie like it owes him money and lives. Improvised, quick thinking, and in tug of war. His team was a joke on paper. Old Il-nam, women, but together with Il-nam's trick moves and Sang-woo's last-second brainwave, they win. Again, pure luck, but Gi-hun pulls with everything he has. Doesn't give up, and in marbles, this one hurts. He plays innocent, but outsmarts Il-nam in the end. It messes with his conscience, but he survives. Then came Glass Bridge. Being near the end of the line was luck, no doubt. But Gi-hun stays sharp, times every jump, follows the tempered glass path without freezing, and no one would have forgotten what happened in Squid Game final. Bleeding, broken, facing Sang-woo, he refuses to kill.
Let's go together.
That's not strategy, that's soul. And when he wins, he doesn't run, he mourns. He stares the system in the face and decides to fight it. In season 2, he levels up. No more lucky stumbles. This time, Gi-hun is teaching others how to survive. Red light, green light, again? This time he's different. No panic, no tripping. Instead, he's out here yelling at people to stay still, coaching others mid-game.
You gotta stay still! Do not run!
That's not fear, that's leadership. In Dokji, he reads patterns, teaches others how to flip. By jeggy kicking, when everyone's legs are shaking, Gi-hun keeps them calm, focused. They're the last team to play, the time's running out, but they cleared all 5 games, together, also in Mingle. He reads the room fast, helps Young Mi, Hyunju, and others form groups before the countdown ends. Then when the votes happen and the whole room splits into two factions, Gi-hun becomes the heart of the rebellion, hides his team, plans an ambush, starts the riot against the guards, and when the civil war inside the dorm breaks out, while others panic, Gi-hun organizes, fights, storms the control room with Hyunju and others, almost pulls off the impossible before Young-il's betrayal turns everything upside down. But if you thought Gi-hun was just the heart of the game, Season 3 turned him into its backbone, and eventually, its sacrifice. After the failed revolt, he breaks, then hunts down Kang Dae-ho and strangles him mid-game. No hesitation, no regret, just justice. When Gumja begs him to protect the baby, Gi-hun turns into a shield. 2 brutal rounds, no allies, no weapons, just him and that child. Then the final insult, the VIPs make the baby a player. Everyone turns, even her own father. So Gi-hun makes one last choice, kills Myung-gi, then sacrifices himself to save her. This man didn't just play the game, he changed it. He was heart. He was backbone. He was the one good thing in that entire nightmare. Gi-hun wasn't just lucky, he was resilient, adaptable, and above all, good. When you play with that kind of heart, sometimes the game plays in your favor. And that's why Gi-hun was one of the best players in Squid Game. And that wraps up the best versus the worst Squid Game players, where we saw brains clash with, well, pure panic. But if you thought that was intense, just wait till you hear 107 Squid Game facts you didn't know. From mind-blowing trivia to game-changing details, find out by watching the video on screen.